so I have to pour a little bit of wine. The first year celebration of global sports, global football. I think we started around January, but we'll celebrate now. We started with the African Nations Cup where Cote d'Ivoire beat us. But this is also Janadu Talks Football 2.0. So I'm back. We're not gonna don't insult us today for not being good with analytics because we're having Christmas party today. So we have some drinks. So we're gonna get our analysis wrong.
Sure.
How's it going, Mr. Said, who's in Lagos, and how's it going?
Yeah, Lagos is fine. We are getting to the mood of Christmas and New Year celebration. So everybody is we are we Nigerians now.
When I called you this morning, you sounded tired. I'm sure you had drinks in Lagos Island last night.
Yeah,
the mood is very dull because there's no cash to spend on anything.
No cash.
There's no semblance of Christmas.
We don't want to get too political, but even children now, they have to go and stampede for food. So Lagos is crazy, but we're still going to pray for Lagos. This is a bright day. We don't want to talk too bad. But so welcome, Saeed. So Saeed wasn't with us last year when we started, but we've done a good year. And we want to thank the people who watch our show. So today we're just going to have fun. So the first person we're going to talk about is Jamie Vardy. Vardy is 37 years old. I think this year he has 6 goals, 3 assists. That's really good for somebody his age. And we want to honor him because remember, he beat your boys, Arsenal and Man U. You guys went with Leicester when they won the title, I think 2014, 2015. What are your thoughts on Vardy, Afolabi? Yeah, you can give us a stat.
Yeah, Vardy is like fine wine. The older he gets, the more talented and the more, brilliant he gets. He's 37 and he has been in Leicester ever since, and he's still a goal threat. He still has that burst of pace over the first 20 yards in front of goal. He still takes a lot of shots. You can see 19 shots, 8 on target, and he has scored 6 goals from 15 appearances. I think when his game dropped a little bit was when they lost their coach to Chelsea. It's their coach that is coaching Chelsea now, Enzo Maresca. So that affected his game a little bit. But now that Nistelrooy has taken over from Cooper, he seems to be getting his act back. So that in a nutshell is what he has done. And 3 assists, I don't think it's bad for a 37-year-old.
Did he ever play for England? His England career never was
he played for England when he was much younger, but not
I think they could have kept him. He's too old now, but maybe the Euro where they lost to Italy, he was still good enough to be on that squad. I don't know. But fantastic player, and he has energy. Kunle can tell us some stories about Vardy. Give us some remembrances of Vardy, Kunle. Yeah. Vardy, the bad boy. We said Vardy doesn't drink or do crazy things because he's naturally crazy. But he's like that crazy old British sailor. Go ahead, Kunle.
Can I? I wanted to say Jamie Vardy never actually started off as a young player. He's sort of like Ian Wright. Ian Wright came to the fore in his 20s. He never really had a youth time. The youth time of Jamie Vardy was spent in the lower leagues. His claim to fame was helping Ranieri win the league for Leicester. And stay at Leicester, so he's going to become a Leicester legend. Because before him, the last great Leicester player was Gary Lineker.
Yeah, sure.
And they're similar because I think they're both kind of like goal poachers a little bit. But those guys are dynamic.
They're poachers. That's just the word. They're poachers. Jamie Vardy's a poacher.
I think Arsenal needs a goal poacher.
Yeah, they do.
Maybe it's Jesus. Maybe it's Jesus now. Jesus is there. Jesus has scored 4 goals in their last 2 games.
Yeah.
Sorry to go on a detour.
The guy's finding form. He's finding form.
5 goals.
Yeah. We'll come back to Vardy. What do you think about your boy, Saeed? Do you think they can keep him and they don't need to get a number 9 and they can just change their position? But Afolabi, remember what we said. They need to move Havertz, and they did what you said. Move Havertz somewhere a little bit behind.
Exactly.
Move him. He can't be Havertz cannot be the central point for Arsenal.
And it appears Jesus is doing a good job.
What's going on now is not sustainable. No matter how.
It's not sustainable, but it's still good for a little while. Sorry for cutting in front of you. Go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry for cutting in front of you.
It's just gonna work for a while, but when we over time it will wear out. Jesus being top striker now, I don't. Yeah, I think he has tried it before. It will only work for a period of time. Then the whole life.
Yeah, and also, before we go back to Vardy, there's something like people always say with Arsenal. If they do this with him for 2 or 3 weeks, it'll become predictable again, and teams will adapt. What do you think, Warif? Yeah.
Yesterday, why Arsenal why we're winning the match, I told somebody, I said, Arteta is not a tactician because we're winning the game about 4-1 or 5-1. And most of your players, your first team players, you're still on the bench. Why not remove them? Give playing time to some of those guys that don't see matches. There's no way Crystal Palace would have equalized 4-1 or 5-1, remaining about 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So Arteta should learn how to rotate his players, give these players chance. Then Gabriel Jesus, if at all they sit there and maybe Arsenal should sign another striker, what they need to do, they need to bring in maybe Gabriel Jesus as a supporting striker or Sky Harvard, because once you have two strikers, it will cause distraction to the defenders. They wouldn't know which to, because maybe if this one runs this way, this one runs this way, and it might cause distraction. But when you have a 1 point man and just one striker, it's everybody will be on him. What's happening in Man City right now? They've understood how Guardiola plays. The midfield, once you cut off supply to Haaland, you see Man City struggles. That's how they've studied Arsenal. So if, Mikel Arteta can change some of his tactics, bring in some new players by January, don't just believe that Arsenal will continue winning matches. For example, yesterday, Saka was substituted. He had injury. So I just hope the injury will not stay for long. We need backup for Saka.
He's out for a month.
We need
Saka out for a month.
He's out for a month.
With groin. So we need backup for these players. If not, I don't know where Arsenal will be.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. This is a crazy year. And isn't it funny, though, that Man City, the last team to win before Man City was Liverpool, and now Liverpool is number one. So it seems as if it's just Liverpool and Man City that win English League. But we'll see what happens this year. We're going to talk about Chelsea, but what are your thoughts, Afolabi, about that? About how there's a pattern in which it seems like Man City and Liverpool have been dominating for the last 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not one team, it's the other.
It happened recently to Jurgen Klopp. The season before the last, he started to have issues. His team wasn't playing well. They didn't qualify for the Champions League, and was able to assemble a couple of new players. That was when Szoboszlai came in and Cody Gakpo. Before he left, he was able to assemble a new crop, that actually replaced the likes of Firmino and Fabinho and the likes of them. So before he left, he had a dip in form. His team had a dip in form, but he was able to, like a second iteration of the Liverpool game, and then his team bounced back. In fact, I dare say Arne Slot is profiting from, the well-assembled team that Jurgen Klopp, brought in. He just made a few minor tweaks, and he has Jurgen Klopp to really thank for, going to
So it seems like those two teams, and this is the difference between City and Liverpool and Arsenal. At least with City and Liverpool, they tend to have depth and they tend to plan. Even when they go bad, they do that. But Arsenal has been sticking with the same formula.
Your camera is off.
Okay. Arsenal has been sticking with the same formula. So, now, we know that Man City has gone down, but if Guardiola stays, I'm sure that they'll rebuild and do something. Same thing with Liverpool.
Even before the end of the season, I believe they'll pick up.
They'll pick up, yeah.
Let's be honest about the factors. In the last 10 to 15 years, it's been Chelsea, Man City, and Liverpool. Liverpool having won it only once. Chelsea, I think, won it a couple more times. Arsenal had not been in that conversation. Not for the last 20 years. So
but how many times did Liverpool win with Klopp? How many times did they win?
They
won one, but they also won
the Champions League. They won the Champions League as well.
So in the last 10 years, Liverpool and Man City, that's why I said last 7 years, they've been very good. They've been very good, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and Chelsea won
they won the
Champions League. So if Chelsea can win this year, then they'll show that they're also dominant. Man U has been struggling for some time, for 15 years. I'm not dissing Man U. I'm just saying they haven't really been in the conversation, and Arsenal hasn't. But it seemed like in the old era, it was Arsenal and Man U. What do you think?
And 20 years ago, Arsenal got out of the conversation in 2004. United were winning titles right up to 2013. Arsenal haven't done anything in the Champions League. Like I said before to my dear friend, they said overtake not boys because before they can even engage in that conversation.
Okay, we agree, but we're not going to argue about that today, though.
The three front runners. Yes, Manchester United are down and out for this season. Forget about them. I think Arsenal, because they've lost Saka, they're going to be out. because even when Saka comes back, he's going to need time to get back fit. And without picking up another injury, because one hamstring leads to another if you rush a player in too fast. So that's the end of Arsenal season as far as I'm concerned. Without Saka, if they don't get a top quality replacement during the January window, which they won't, I think that they're out. Gabriel Jesus showed that he can score as a striker, but who's going to supply him now? It all comes through Odegaard, from Odegaard to Saka to goal or to a striker. So maybe they'll find a way to adapt now that Gabriel Jesus is fit.
Yeah, you never know. We never know. They might need to move Gabriel Jesus to the right to play for Saka. Yeah. Can he do that?
Yeah. Because Jesus has been so unfit for such a long time that Saka was fit. So maybe they're creating a different option and they'll simply find a different route to that. But at the end of the day, Arsenal lack depth.
And I think you were saying that before, Warif. But I always say, you know when they say it's going to rain, even if the sky is black, you say, I'm not worried, let it rain. So when you were saying, what if Arsenal gets injured? I said, don't worry, let it happen first. Now it's happened. But you understand what I'm saying? I don't believe in a rainy day, but now it's a rainy day for Arsenal. Serious.
Yeah, they have this with 11 players. They don't understand the squad game. You know, they have a best player and a replacement. They don't have two players competing. Nobody's competing with Saka. Nobody's competing with Odegaard.
Oh, so they need it, yeah.
That's why they're not going to really get there.
Look at Barcelona. Barcelona is still trying to get Williams when they already have Olmo. But that's what you have to do. Can you imagine if Barcelona had Williams also? So they'll have depth. You get my point. Yeah. So although I don't think Williams is going to go to Barcelona, he may go to Liverpool. Where's he going? Tony Williams.
No rumor.
Nobody. They need to make up. It's almost January. That guy is the best young winger in the world. We need to figure out where he's going.
If Arsenal is a serious team, they would have gone for that guy.
Williams, that Williams guy is.
I'm even reading right now that £50 million deal for Victor Gyökeres. I don't know who it is. Anyways, it's still a transfer.
With Arsenal.
Yeah, you need money. No matter how good you are, Arsenal don't have the players to have that muscle recovery through this period of the season.
Yeah, they're going to tough, and then they have Champions League. So anyway, let's move on. So the second person we're going to talk about, who's on fire this year, probably the best player in the EPL, and Man City got rid of him, Palmer. What are your thoughts on Palmer? On Palmer, Afolabi, yeah.
Yeah, Cole Palmer. Let's quickly look at Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer has been doing very, very well. Sorry. Very well for Chelsea. And one statistics I saw that stood out for him, I didn't even know he was that good at penalty kicks. He has played 12 and scored 12 at the spot. He has the best penalty.
Is a record.
Yeah, since Yaya Toure.
Afolabi, Mbappe should steal his face and put it on his own face. So Mbappe should do body transplant and take his legs, take Palmer's legs.
Yes. So
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the guy is doing really well, and I'm trying to bring up his stats here. Just a second. So.
Oh yeah, I was like, that looks like that Palmer's not doing 7 years old.
Yeah. So basically, the guy has really improved, and he's good with both legs. He can shoot. He's a fantastic dribbler of the ball, and
he's flexible.
He's very, very.
Also, durable. I believe that Palmer could play defensive midfielder if he wanted to. He's tough. He's very tough.
Very durable player. Okay, so
the only thing is that he doesn't pass enough to be a defensive midfielder. His passing is not that great.
No.
Although he has 11 assists. Look at that, 11 assists.
Yes, 100% penalty record.
11 goals, 11 assists.
Yeah.
His ability going forward will be wasted as a CDM because he creates too much going forward.
Yeah. But what I mean is that he could play that a little bit if they needed him to do it. He could do it. Yeah.
And to think that this guy was in Man City as a youth, he was in Man City. Man City allowed him go to Chelsea. Now look at what
that was a big mistake for them. Yeah.
Big mistake.
And I think he's England's best player.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
I mean, even for their national team.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Cole Palmer, Saeed? Yeah.
Yeah, from what Mr. Falabi said, I think that shows that he's really on form. And ever since he's on this scoring and assisting form. I think it's something that nobody should just play him down. If he continue like this, only that my fear is that all these English players, I don't know, at the beginning they will show some signs that they are going to be great and going to be there for years.
Foden.
The long run, I think they won't live up to that hype anymore.
But I think
I'm seeing that fear with him too.
Saeed, I think part of the reason why that is because of the English media. They make you look at Ronaldo when you're just a star.
The English hype.
They overhype. They're always overhyping everything.
But you know what I've noticed about Palmer? Palmer is a street boy. He doesn't care about when people say, "Oh, you're a good player."
Time will tell. You can't say that he's going to live up to that expectation now.
Yeah, but I will say this: if you look at his projection, I put Palmer in the same category that I put Bellingham. Those guys are European players.
Foden too. I remember Foden is now dropping now. Remember when Foden picked up this
but what I was going to say is that Foden is not as flexible as Palmer. Foden can't pass the ball like Palmer. Palmer can play 3 different or 4 different positions. So I put Palmer in the same category that I put Bellingham with. They're technical players who can do a lot of things, and they can play in Europe.
I'm not a fan of Bellingham. I'm not a Bellingham.
But even whether we're a fan of Bellingham or not, Bellingham he played in Borussia Dortmund, so he was trained under Ancelotti. So what I'm saying is that Bellingham and Palmer, they're not your typical English players. They play more like European players, in which they're or like also that guy for Germany. Who's the guy for Germany? The black guy.
Who's the
black guy for Germany?
We can give Bellingham that benefit of the doubt because he didn't play in England. You know, you just said he played in Borussia Dortmund. Now in
but who's the other guy for Germany? Musiala. So to me, Palmer, Musiala, and Bellingham, they're similar. They're these types of guys that can play in midfield. They can attack. So what I'm talking about is Palmer has more skill set than Foden. And he has more. But if I were Palmer, Palmer is still away. He will never go to Europe. He's not going to go, anywhere.
He shouldn't leave right now. If he decides that
because Chelsea can win the title. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Warif? Then we'll go to Kunle. Yeah.
You see, one thing Man City will be regretting now is for them to allow Palmer to go. Palmer is like a driver. He coordinates the attacks and he's very fast. He has the eyes of an eagle. He has the eyes of an eagle. He can easily sight a player and give the pass. And he's confident.
He has vision. He has vision.
Like there was this match they played. He played 2 penalties and he scored both. So what I like about him is that he's fast, he's skillful. The only thing that is missing in him is not physical. But when he's flexible, he can easily coordinate the team, dictate the pace of the game. So with that, I think he's doing well. But
you're right, Ty. So we don't want to overhype him. And I think the main problem is that Palmer's a good player, but the English press, they're the ones that destroy their players.
Yeah.
Because they put too much pressure. Can you imagine being a football player and if you read the newspaper every day? That's why if you're a football player or an athlete, don't read the newspaper. Get tired. Don't listen. Don't read the newspaper. But I think Palmer is that type of tough guy, like, from the streets. He's like, they say you're not good. He said, I don't care. That's what you have to do. Don't care what people say about you. But once you start believing the hype, like what they say about you. Same thing with Kane. They make Kane a hero, then the next minute they bring him down. Even Rashford. Man, the newspapers won't let Rashford.
Yeah, even Rashford too. Yeah.
They put too much pressure. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
It's another good example.
I think England overdo it when everyone's the next Ronaldo or the next Maradona if they score a goal. And sometimes, with England, you see one assist that led to like 10 other passes before they scored. And they've been talking about what the England guy did.
He started the run.
Yeah, or maybe they'll pass to a guy, the guy will dribble 10 people and score, and they'll be like, look at that assist he gave to that guy.
No, Kule, English goalkeeper for any team. He'll roll the ball to Vinicius. Vinicius will dribble. Look at that assist by the goalkeeper.
Exactly. They don't ignore the fact that the guy he still had a bit of work to do. He still had to dribble 10 more players before he scored that goal.
Put your phone sideways, I think, or maybe you can't because it may be the format of your phone.
Oh, sideways like that.
Oh, no, just keep it the other way. Don't worry. No, don't worry. Just keep it the other way. We'll fix it next time.
How about like that?
No, just go back to the middle.
Go back to the number.
Like this.
Okay,
Like this. Just leave it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll work on it next time. But yeah, very good points. Continue, Kule. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about the overhyping of the English players. It's overdone,
It's overdone, yeah.
They need to take it down.
Like South
But I
Africa.
do agree. I think this guy is definitely... This guy was top 3 strikers in the world, Kane. So Kane wasn't overhyped. Kane was the real deal, man.
But Rashford is well overhyped. He's not.
I remember when Rashford first came out, when the Queen was still alive, and even the Queen said, "You as a good young boy, you will help England." Story.
England needs to stop. They need to cut it down.
Just listen, Janelle talk football. England's my favorite England player of all time, Gaza.
Yes, best. He was the only one. Well, John Barnes was also close to Gaza in terms of that kind of Brazilian samba type of dribbling skill. Do
you know that Gaza? Do you know Gaza would have water bottle, but there was vodka inside because vodka looks like water, so they won't know he's drinking during the middle of a game. Because the coach, they shot. Gaza used to do cocaine and drink beer, so they told him you have to stop drinking. So he now started drinking gin. And because it looks like water, and he'll be drinking it like when they give them water before they come in the game, there was alcohol.
Sapele water.
A crazy boy, crazy.
Guy looks like he's 80 years old now.
Yes, I'm surprised he's still alive. I don't think he has many more years left in him
unfortunately. Okay, so let's move on to the next top. Oh, before we move on, any fond memories of Gaza, Mafalabi?
Yeah,
he did very well. 1990 World Cup. Yeah.
Yes, 1986 and 1990, along with David Platt and Gary Lineker. It was a very formidable English squad under Bobby Robson. I remember Gaza was really very talented until he became an alcoholic and he just messed up everything.
Bad boy.
Does anybody remember when the referee dropped his yellow card and Gaza picked it up and gave it to the referee like this? As if he was giving him
yellow.
Oh, yeah. Now gave Gaza a yellow card.
Yellow.
And
that guy was crazy.
Vinnie Jones grabbing Gaza by the balls. And he was like, that's a big photo. I think I'll find out.
Those are the days, right? This guy, what's his name? John Barnes looks like he's from Calabar.
Yes.
Quite man.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Those were the days. Okay, guys, this is funny. This is fun. This is Janadu Talks Football. We don't do this all the time. So this is our fun show. It's not our analytical show. So let's have fun today. So let's start last guy who did Nigeria fine. And to me, one of the top 4 wingers in the world. Or top 4 or 5, Lookman. That's all I have to say. Would you agree? Agree, Afolabi? Would you say he's top 4 or 5 wingers in the world? Yeah.
Of course, absolutely. And he's not just a winger. He's good with both feet. He's quick. Yeah. He's an excellent dribbler. And more importantly, he's not a striker, but he finishes well. How many wingers do we have?
And even though he's not a striker, he'll get crosses. He breaks down defenders and passes the ball.
He finishes very, very well. And that's very, very impressive. He scored, I think, about 5 goals in the Champions League, 8 for Atlanta, and internationally too. Anytime he plays for Nigeria, he tends to score. So he's a very, very good player.
And on the left, he's a little bit like Yamin on the left. Yamin is also not a striker, but they finish well and they're able to break down defenders. But and they both have signature moves in which they go left, then go right against center, and then score. They both do the same thing. It's just that I think Yamin plays more, tracks back more than what's his name?
If his mom or dad was from Spain, I'm sure he'd been in this.
No, he'd be on the Spanish team. Yeah. And I would say this, and I keep saying this. We're not comparing players, but if I was on a team and I had a choice between Mbappe or Lookman, I would choose Lookman any day because of his team play and because he's more skilled. He's more skilled with his foot. It's just that I will agree. Mbappe is more explosive and can find more scoring chances. Yeah. What do you think, Kule?
Yeah, I think Mbappe is what a striker should be if he doesn't want to defend. Rashford is like a cup price Mbappe. Rashford, like Mbappe, is not very good defensively. His all-round game is a bit limited. the main thing that they can do is take the player on, use pace, use power, and slot the ball inside the goal. Very similar type.
I can see Kule using the left eye to see Man U game.
What the hell? I'm using that side.
I know Man U's playing now. Don't worry, we're about to listen. But I saw Kule as he was talking. Brilliant job, Kule, because you're looking at the game and also talking about Rashford.
Yeah, so I've got it on the channel so I can hear the shouting, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, no problem. Don't worry. Yeah, so you're right. So what are your thoughts on
Rashford playing?
No, he's not playing.
No.
He's on the bench.
No. He's on the bench.
I'm joking. I'm saying that Kule is watching during the show. He's watching Man U play now too, but it's a joke. But so if he shouts goal, you know why. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Saeed? Yeah. Saeed, what are your thoughts on Lookman? Yeah.
Yeah,
Stood on the bench.
Yeah.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're still on. Yeah, Lookman.
Go ahead.
I called you Lookman, Saeed. What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. So as it is, let's see how it goes, because I really wanted me. I want to. I'm very on this our Arsenal matter, because the thing is really, because Mr. Kunle is always making fun of Arsenal whenever we're talking about Arsenal. He'll be like,
for more than 20 years, it never goes old.
Yeah, like you keep saying that word, and I really don't like that word. So
you know what? Let me tell you why. Because Mr. Kule, he's been attacking Arsenal for 20 years because he's a Man U fan.
Yes,
my son is a Man U fan. So
whenever we talk about Premier League, he will always be pointing that fact, and because it's a fact, there's no way you can argue that. You understand?
Yeah. So you guys have to win. You guys have to win this year.
Yeah, we just have to win. We just have to win the Premier League.
You know what? You know what I feel about Arsenal. Saeed, you know what I feel about Arsenal? Why Saka is injured today is Arteta's fault. He uses that guy too many times. Too many times. He played almost every Euro game for England. Comes back to
almost,
Arsenal.
Yeah.
He keeps using him. Now they'll be forced to use the likes of Lisandro.
Yes.
Yeah, you should use him sparingly. Take him off after 70 minutes.
The guy's legs cannot carry him. The guy's legs cannot carry him that much. Now they are forced to be using the likes of Trossard and stuff. So
which is why sometimes they should put Jesus
that's why they got Sterling on the right. That's why they got Sterling, so that you can give Saka a rest.
You should give Sterling more playing time.
Exactly.
And Sterling is this kind of person that he plays with a top 9. But because we don't have top 9, you will hardly see the work of Sterling. We all know that Sterling will just be rambling, then make pass to the top 9. But there's no top 9. Havertz is not there.
And his experience.
He doesn't have the raw pace.
Yeah, his experience.
And he's not as good as he used to be now. He's in his 30s. What he used to rely on was his youth. His youth isn't there anymore. It's a bit more difficult for him. He's not in the England setup anymore. He's on his way down. Sterling is on his way down. He's not going to get any better. And,
no, Kule, you're wrong. He's not on his way down. He's already down. He's on his way out.
Yeah, he's on his way down. He's on his way out. He's maybe at Everton or a Stoke City.
But we think his experience is still going to count for us. I feel he's a backup player for us. Like this, when I saw the move, I'm not one of those people that say, no, it's not a good move or something. He's a good backup to Saka. Now that Saka is out, you will see that
they need to have more quality depth.
At least he might not be performing as much as Saka, the way Saka is playing, but he's not good enough for us. Good stuff for us.
Yeah. He's not done well for you guys, though.
Yeah, also Arsenal needs more quality depth.
He's playing well now.
They need more quality depth. So we're going to end with Warif. What are your last thoughts, Warif? My phone is at 2.5%.
My last word for Arteta is that he should try and get other players involved, like the team rightly said. You don't just use what's it called, Bukayo Saka all through. He's human. He's not a robot. So you should try and have that belief in other players. If you watch Arsenal feed that team, we have some good black players in Arsenal, but Arteta does not have that belief in them. Okay, look at the guy that played is he left back? What's his name? Skete or so. The guy did well. So you have to, until you give a player that chance, you cannot know how good the player is.
So many of all these young boys, you should be playing them.
They have the hunger to play. So Arteta should be flexible. Arteta is a rigid coach.
And that's what Chelsea did. Chelsea's team is so young. Chelsea's team is young.
Look at Chelsea now. Yeah, look at Chelsea now.
They're not good enough. He needs players that are good enough. He needs to buy.
No, Arsenal has good players. Like Saka, nobody knew of Saka before he came into the game. Until you use the player, we don't know how good that person is. If not for that, nobody knows
Same thing with Kane. Kane was given a chance to play. Nobody knew Kane was that good. Go ahead, yeah.
Adebayor got injured. That's why Harry Kane got his chance. If not for Adebayor's injury, Harry Kane might have never played many games.
But it's wrong to continue using one particular player. Give other players the chance. Even if it's Carling Cup, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, give them that chance.
Arteta is not a youth player. He's not a youth type coach.
Yeah, it's not like Arsene Wenger.
Then he should buy players.
Arsene Wenger gave a lot of young players opportunities in Arsenal.
Arsenal is a business team.
Buy, you scout, academy. So there's three ways. It's not just buying. You can also scout.
If you remember Wenger those days, he gave a lot of young players opportunities. Nicolas Thierry Henry,
Fabregas. We are very young.
Very young players.
Fabregas was 18 years old when he first played for Barcelona. So when Fabregas was with Arsenal, he was very young, like 18 or something like
16 years. No, 16.
See, and I was like, who is this boy? 16, this guy 17. Is good. The guy was so good.
Even Nasri, when Nasri, they bought Nasri. Nasri was even young. Somebody was asking me that, is he a ball boy? I said, no, he's an Arsenal player. They said, this is a guy. He's guy abuse, signing small players.
All right. So we're going to head on out. Thank you, guys. This is a brilliant show. So this is about a year since we started with the Nations Cup, in which Nigeria was beaten by Cote d'Ivoire, unfortunately. But we're moving on to the next year. We want to say that we're proud of Nigeria, and we want things to get better, and we want people to support our show. So take us out, Falabi, please.
Another brilliant show. A feeling of nostalgia. We started this just about a year ago, and it's been fun all the way. From me, from Saif, from Warif, Mustafa, and Kule. Bye for now.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll talk about Nigeria. Okay, bye.
Okay. Bye.